Whew. Well, rise and shine, guys. So yeah, this is a quick video on the tires on the GR Corolla. So the factory comes with Michelin Pilot Sport 4s, the PS4s. They are summer tires, and that always drives me nuts. So and the factory tire size is the 235/40/18s. So I upgraded. You can see now I'm on the these are 255/40/18s. And that's kind of how it looked. No rubbing issues as far as I know. But yeah, it's great. The tires are awesome. This is just a quick, just show you how they look here. I washed these wheels yesterday, so otherwise they'd be full of brake dust. You guys know. But yeah, that's about what they look like. So nice and meaty, just looks great. So yeah, that's how they look, nice and beefy. And let's go for a drive, and then we could talk about how the tires feel. So yeah, so we are riding on the Continental DWS 06 Plus tires. These are the all-season tires, and I've always been a huge fan of you know, the DWS and the Continental, especially when I started, you know, I ran it on the GR86. You know, one thing that's always bothered me, I think I've mentioned it before in past videos, is why do these cars come with summer tires, man? You know, like it's just dangerous, especially if you live in areas where you get winters and, you know, the weather's cold. Like, you're not gonna have traction, you know, when it gets cold, you know. And then, so that's one of the reasons why I went with the upgrade. I would call it an upgrade because I can use the tires all year round and have confidence in the cold weather and the wet, and then even light snow. I am curious though, I would like to test these out on how they do in snow. But yeah, other than that, like I said, these tires are great. And you know, the factory tires, they do ride somewhat stiff. So I noticed that you know, it's kind of more a jarring ride, where these tires, I do feel a bigger difference. And you can see just a comparison here. I took a video, and actually there's a thread on the GR Corolla forums that you can see where I posted it up as well, so you guys can follow that and post there if you want to see more pictures. Basically the same pictures I'm going to share here, but I just like making forum threads too, just to kind of track, you know, everything in more detail if needed. But yeah, so that's comparison. And now the factory comes with two 35/40/18s, and the factory wheel, I believe it's a 32 offset, and it's a 18x8.5. So I was originally gonna go with the two 245/40/18s, which is like the factory size for the Maritzo, you know, the Maritzo wheels, or Maritzo tire size. But I was like, you know what, maybe I want to go a little wider, because I do like, because the fitment from the factory has got a slight stretch, and I'm not crazy about you know, the stretch look. I always like either flush or a little bit of bubble, like a little bit of bulge. I'm all about that bulge. So I just went on Google. I was like, what's the widest tire size you can, you know, put on an 8.5, you know, 8.5 inch wheel, and it said 255 was probably the you know, is the widest you can go. So I was like, all right, well, let's take a chance with that. And you know, so that's what I did. Luckily to report, like I said, no issues at all with you know, rubbing or anything like that. And the whole speedo situation, like, I don't know if the car is inaccurate or the GPS is inaccurate, because I use the Waze app. So just keep that in mind. From the factory, you know, if I'm going 60 miles an hour, the speedo will say, or if the speedo says 60, the GPS will show me as like 57 miles an hour. So one of the hopes was for this, doing this tire size, I was hoping it was somehow corrected. And you know, I'm sure if you go with 245/40/18s, it'll probably correct it dead on. And then since I went slightly wider, it would be like over a mile an hour. So if I'm going 60, my actual, or the speedo says 60, I'm actually going 61. But in this case, it didn't change at all. So it could be the GPS is inaccurate or the car is inaccurate. Either way, something is not accurate and it's driving me nuts. But I'm guessing it's just safe to go by your car's speedo. So if you get, I don't know. But yeah, just go by the car's speedo. But I can tell you right now, like I'm driving, let me see, I'm going to set it for 60. Okay, so I'm setting it for 65 right now. So I'm cruising at 65, and the GPS on Waze is showing me 62. So just keep that in mind. So none of that changed. It's still pretty much, the same. But other than that, yeah, so these tires, man, they ride so well. Like you can feel a difference as far as the ride quality as well. It just feels nicer. Like it's smooth. And I want to say the response, the steering response is great. If not, it's even better, I would say, especially when the weather's cold. Like I didn't have a chance to test the summer tires in cold weather because I don't plan to. But I can imagine that the grip is not going to be the same, and that's because the tire compound is just completely different. You just can't compare. So I'm sure that the Pilot Sport 4s are a great tire in the summertime. And it can't compete with an all season. It's just they're just made for different purposes. So, and I know the PS4s are well known and well reputable tire. So no hate on that. It's just this is my only car and I drive it all year round, and I want to have something that's got that I don't have to worry about traction in the cold weather and light snow. I know these do good in the rain as well, so it's just a tire brand that I've really built a lot of trust with ever since owning the GRD6, because with that car I took it on 3 track days. I drove it in light snow, winter time, so I was like, man, this tire really does it all. And also I'm not like a advanced driver in any way. I'm just casual, like I said, casual driver. I just drive it. I'm not doing anything crazy or stupid. I just want to get to point A to point B, no matter what the weather is, So, but yeah, honestly, man, it's such a solid overall tire, man, and for the money, that's a big one too. So price point, these tires were about $215 per tire, and I actually got them right off Amazon. So all 4 tires shipped through Amazon directly from Continental. Now I was considering Michelin Pilot. They have an all-season 4, and then they also have the Cross Climate 2s. And all my friends swear by Michelin. Everyone I've talked to is like, go Michelin. And I was like, I was considering it, but when I was pricing it out, you were looking at around $1,300 to $1,400, for a set of Michelin, all seasons. And I've only had experience with Michelin. Michelin summer tires. So I had them even on an RSX I had back in the day. I had a 2002 RSX that came with Michelin's, and that car was that thing was sliding around like crazy. And it was just an automatic RSX, and it would literally rip squeal wheels. Yeah. So I'm trying to remember the tires that came on the RSX. It wasn't Premises, but it was something. It was something else. I can't recall. If I remember, if I find out, I'll put it up on the video. But then the Premises HPs with the GRD6, that car did not give me those tires did not give me confidence. It's like I said, it's great if you want to learn how to oversteer and just go through some tires and have fun with it. Great tire for that, for sure. But if you want grip and confidence, then go with something different. At least for me personally, everyone has different preferences. So I just like to have grip and consistency, and and these Continentals have done that for me, especially all year round. I just want to make sure I preface that, the all year round. So yeah, for the price wise, you look around $950, $960 versus $1,300, $1,400. I'm gonna go with what I trust. I like to experiment with other tires, but it's do I want to take the chance? And I did take a chance trying the Continentals, and I fell in love. So I've been hooked since You know, especially when I got to push these tires in a track, in a high performance environment. But my skill level, which is not very high, so it's not like I don't know if I was really pushing the tires to its limits, but it was enough for me personally, you know. So, but yeah, so price wise, I think you're getting the most bang for your buck with these tires. It does a lot. It's not gonna blow your socks off in the snow. It's not gonna blow your socks off in the summer, but it's gonna get you where you need to go, and just enough to have fun. Like I said, and especially if you're just a casual, just regular driver like myself, not doing anything crazy all the time or looking for performance. But if you are looking for performance, you definitely want to get dedicated tires for that specific application, you know. So if you're like track and you're in the summertime, you want to get a good summer tire, you know. If you have heavy winters, heavy snow, you know, Blizzaks, you know, like they just can't compare, you know. They have their differences, so you're gonna have a compromise running all season. So just have the expectations match what, you know, like what you're running. So just keep that in mind. That's what I do personally. So but yeah, that's all I got as far as price wise. That's kind of a big reason why I went with it, and just from past experience, you know, with the tire. But I really love it, and like I said, stuff like this, I mean, it's not sponsored, so I like to share stuff that I truly enjoy and think are great for me personally. So hopefully this helps you guys, and if you want to give yourself like a car a more, you know, beefy look, I mean, I think it just complements the car very well. It just looks more fitting, you know, than the factory, the tire spec. But yeah, man, other than that, man, I don't have anything else, man. I just wanted to just share this with you guys, and you know, I look forward to testing it out when winter does come. When we get some snow, I'm going to take it out and just, you know, drive it and you know, just see how it does. But I'm excited to see how the all-wheel drive system paired with these tires do in that setting, you know. So I'm very excited for that. But yeah, other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys are doing well. I know the content has been taking a break lately. You know, I've been playing a little Mortal Kombat. Battlefield 6 came out. I've been loving that. It's a nice break from Call of Duty, because Black Ops 6 was, man, that was like peak of, terrible. But anyways, aside from that, hope you guys are doing well, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care.